Let's move on to the other forward in the competition, one who I can say is walked into this competition with the biggest reputation, Napoli's Victor Osimhen. And his numbers, he's had 1 goal, 19 shots. 19 shots. You know, a 3.09 non-penalty XG. So that's really the value of the chances he's put away, or not put away, let me put it that way. 5 big chances missed, 1 assist. 1 assist. And I suspect that assist came against Cameroon, his assist to Lukman, Ademola Lukman there. And so really, in terms of numbers, that's how Victor Osimhen is looking at. We'll be getting to the touchpad in a bit there. So let me come back to you. Your thoughts on Victor Osimhen? I'm sure from a numbers perspective, you were expecting the goal count to probably reach 5 or 6 by now. But it's only 1 in 5 games.
Yeah, and the XG alone should tell you the chances that have come his way. 5 big chances missed. It's the most in the competition. 19 shots, most in the competition. And he's only put 4 on target. It's very disappointing, you know. And this is a player we expect a lot from usually. He has the reputation for a reason. This is a very good striker, but it just hasn't come on for him. And I remember in the group stage, you know, when the group stage started, you see all these clips of a chance will come and then Nigeria, like you're on social media scrolling, and Osimhen has completely fluffed the chance. And I feel a bit bad for him because people are watching this AFCON. There's a lot of interest in this AFCON. You know, it's an international tournament. It's in the middle of the season. People who might not necessarily watch Syria are now watching you play for your country. And you've been fairly disappointing, you know. But that's the thing about Osimhen. We know that he's a great player. He works hard. He occupies defenders. So there's some value there. He's definitely going to give you value whether he's scoring or not. But it's just disappointing how his finishing seems to have deserted him in this competition. But look, they've got to the semi-final. And if he finds his finishing touch in this game and the final, it will be enough. They've gotten here without him. And he can always find his finishing touch. Because remember, the thing about things like this is more often than not, with good players, they regress. Someone like him, he will regress to the mean if he's given more time. But that's, again, the danger of the 7-game tournament. Will there be enough time for him to kind of, you know, make up for the lost XG to kind of meet in the mean? Would there be enough time? That's what I'm not sure of. But the fact that he's getting those chances for me is a good sign. That means he's getting to the right positions. The team is creating chances. It's up to him to finish. And that's the thing about strikers. We know how they are. They can miss a few, but then one can just go in. And then it's like what they say is the ketchup principle. You know, you have to kind of shake the ketchup bottle, hit the bottom to kind of get it flowing. And then once it comes out, everything comes out. So, you know, when you think of strikers like that, him missing chances, he's getting the chances. That's the good sign. But missing them is a bit worrying. But there's still 2 games potentially. So I'm not too worried for now because the defense is their strength. So if he just takes 1 chance in the next game, they should be fine.
All right, we'll see if Victor Osimhen will give us a lot more goals. Like Susu Graham is saying, if the ketchup will start flowing for Victor Osimhen. Let's get to the touchpad. Edwin Kwakofi. Edwin, we've seen Osimhen across 5 games. What are some of the things you've picked up by watching him and watching him play for Nigeria and doing his stuff?
Look, as Susu said, it's a bit worrying to see someone who's supposed to be the best striker on the continent miss the chances he's been giving. But the fact that, and Susu mentioned this as well, the fact that he's getting into these positions is very important as well. I like to pick out this moment from the game between Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea. That was the first game of the AFCON for Nigeria. So here's Iwobi with the ball. Let me highlight Victor Osimhen, who is in green, so we'll make it green. Here's Victor Osimhen right here, right in front of the centre-backs, right between them. Here he makes the run. He expects Iwobi to find him with the pass, so he makes the run. That is fantastic movement from a centre-forward. That is what you want from your centre-forward. So he understands his role. He gets into the right positions, and we play it on. He makes the run immediately, takes out the defenders. He's onside, but he fails to finish. And this is down to how he positions his body. We talked about body positioning yesterday. He doesn't angle himself enough to be able to get the curl. So his best option right here, his best option is to go for the far post. In our instance, near post for him. He decides to go for the far post. If he had angled himself better, say he was positioned here, say he was positioned somewhere here, he had angled his body in this direction here, he will be able to get enough of an angle to put in the curl into the far post right here. However, he's unable to do it. He sees that the goalkeeper will have a better opportunity of saving it, or he might not even hit that far post instead. That's good instincts for a striker. However, the finish from him was not good enough. That we have to understand. But you can see the instincts are there. You can see the movements there, the positioning there. And this is just one instance. We can point to several instances where he's been in the right position. The last game Nigeria played against Angola, it was late in the game. He was knackered. You could tell that he was very tired. It was a counter for Nigeria, but he still managed to make the run in between centre backs. You could tell that if it had been earlier in the game, there would have been a lot more power to complete that run. He still managed to get the shot and was unlucky to be denied. But as Isu said, the worst thing for a striker is if you're not scoring goals, you are useless for your team. And that is far away from what Osimhen provides for this Nigeria team. And we go to the game against Cameroon. No danger here from the throw for Cameroon. There's absolutely no danger. Yeah, what he does, what he gives you is work rate, efficiency. He runs to the defender and covers him. That's good for a striker who leads your press. That means other players can follow him. And this is the trust that he has from his teammates. Take a look at Ademola Lookman here. The moment Osimhen starts the run, he trusts that Osimhen will be able to get there because of his huge strides. He has some speed to him and his strength. He's definitely going to challenge the defender.
Okay.
So Lookman immediately makes the run forward. Other players, defenders, are slow to react because they feel there's no danger. Nobody is making any sort of move towards the ball because they feel there's no danger. Lookman immediately makes the run. He trusts his player. He knows his striker. He knows what he can do. So Osimhen over here, he gets the ball. Poor defending from the player, but he gets the ball in a position where, let's go back slightly, in a position where for a striker who has not scored a goal or scored a goal in the previous game, you'd expect him to take the shot. After his miss in the previous game, you'd expect him to take the shot. He certainly has the quality to take the shot. And from this angle, taking the shot is not impossible. The goalkeeper is well off his line. A good strike on this could end up in the back of the net. So there's no problem here. But we've talked again consistently about low and high percentage efforts for teams. He realizes that Lookman is making a move towards the goal. He realizes the gap between these two defenders right here. There's so much space for him to put the ball into Lookman. So he realizes the best option is to pass into Lookman, who has a clear shot on goal. And that is exactly what he does. So that's his only assist for the tournament, but it was pretty brilliant from him. His work rate to chase after the ball, not giving up on it, to win the ball, and then the presence of mind not to shoot, but to find his teammates. That's absolutely brilliant. And that goes to show that he actually does something for this Nigerian team. Okay. As a striker, you don't want to be useless. You don't want to be someone who is seen as just adding up to the numbers. You want to be effective. You want to impact the games. And Osimhen absolutely does that. That's why, despite his struggles in front of goal, he is undroppable for the Nigerian team. He's the first person on the list, firstly because of his threats, secondly because of his work rate, and thirdly because he wants to work for the team. That is what you want from your centre forward, even though they are not scoring goals. So he's been not at his best at this tournament, but you can tell that there's still something about him that will carry Nigeria forward if he plays at his best.